Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's your boy, SaleenDriver. That's me. Coming to you for episode number 123 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with SaleenDriver. Me. The longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that I know of. The show that is proudly about nothing in particular, but the show that does endeavor occasionally to piss people off, which I'm told I'm pretty good at. So we are one day removed from Valentine's Day. So since Valentine's Day is nothing terribly significant, we'll just move on from there. Nate the Great was the first one in here, looking for somebody to converse with 10 minutes before the show starts. Battle Angel showed up next, reminding Nate that patience is indeed a virtue. Watch 6-2, one of my watch buddies, he's here. Good to see you, sir. By the way, congratulations on landing a guest spot on that live. I don't know if it was a live stream or a podcast. But congratulations to you. I don't get a lot of invitations for podcasts. I've done 3 or 4. I guess the rumor around is I'm too opinionated for podcasts. And Matt Newman is here. What's up with you, good sir? I'm going to go with an over-under of about 10 minutes before either VicTube or Uncle Lou come in with the incel comments or the MGTOW comments. I figure 10 to 15 minutes before one of them comes in with that comment, considering my video from my walking and talking video from yesterday. Those are the two most likely people to make that kind of comment. And that's nice. I'll have to watch that later. We'll look forward to that. Anyway, what do we want to talk about today? There's so many things we could talk about today. We could talk about balloons. We could talk about Valentine's Day if you really want to. I hope everyone else had a good one. It was just another day for me. Although I did make dinner for my mom, and her college roommate is actually, yes, she went to college back in the last century. Her roommate that she's been friends with ever since, she hadn't seen her in about 8 years, and she came into town to visit, so I made dinner for those two. Just so I obviously don't want my mom to cook on Valentine's Day. That would be cruel. So I made them dinner, and we had a nice evening listening to those two chatter away like they've been doing for the past 2 days, trying to do all their catch up within 4 days before she has to leave again. Watch 62 says if you did a podcast or a live stream, you'd have me on. I appreciate that. I would love to do a podcast or a live stream of just watches, but I've tried to do live stream of just watch topics, but nobody shows up, and very few watch people show up, and mostly it gets taken over by the sports folks, and that's okay. I'm happy with that, but I've long since given up on a singular topic live stream. What are you doing or want to add to my Mustang? Well, right now, nothing. It's working very well, although I haven't driven it in a little while. I probably will get an opportunity to drive it tomorrow. I have good afternoon, Mr. Sancho. I'll use it tomorrow. The next thing I want to do to it, I will do to it when the need arises, is I want to upgrade the brake system. Right now it has 13-inch rotors in front and rear. It's using an adapter kit to use the stock calipers in the rear with the 13-inch brakes. It's a bracket that extends the caliper out further away from the hub. And I want to, and I'm using Cobra 2-piston calipers up front. And I mean, it'll stop fine. I would like to upgrade the car to 4-piston calipers up front and 2-piston calipers in the rear. Still keeping the 13-inch brake format all around. I'm going to do that when the car needs brake work. Obviously, I'm got perfectly good rotors and perfectly good pads on the car. I'm not going to throw them away for no reason. So when it comes time, I'll upgrade the brake system. Other than that, I mean, there's nothing. Other than that, it's just basically maintenance. I just maintain the car. Fluids, I just did that a few weeks ago. I don't need to upgrade the horsepower on the car anymore. I really, I'm 600 horsepower is more than adequate for my needs. If I wanted more, it's easy enough to modify the supercharger on my car to, I could turn the screws up to 800 horsepower and the bottom end will take it, but I don't need that. I don't want to go through the expense of having the car retuned. It's going to be, that would be a very expensive proposition considering we're still using the stock computer on the car and modifying the tune. So I don't want to do that. The suspension is fine. Right now it's just maintenance. So happy with the way the car is running. I see my chat disconnected briefly. That's always nice. Slim Shady Canes is here. Good to see you. And Ballard is here. Who, sir? Me. That's me. The man who hates pro football. And is not only proud of that fact, but smug about it. Okay, good, good, Albert. Just be careful. Eyes on the road. When I did my live stream on last Saturday, while I was driving back home from Naples, I mean, I had an hour and a half to play with. I figured, why not do a live stream? I was trying out a new windshield mount for the phone, which worked great, by the way. I think it'll also work great for turning the camera facing backwards, so I could shoot video, driving videos, which I keep promising. I keep promising to do. It's a good point, Slim. Saying I have enough horsepower is like saying I have enough money. Point taken, and I agree with you, but right now I need to forego the horsepower thing to work on my house thing. I just finished replacing all the windows with hurricane level windows. No pun intended. And now I have to concentrate on the master bathroom, which needs a lot of work. So horsepower has to wait until I can redo the master bath. Megan's here. Good to see you. I'd be happy to shoot you just for the way you spelled Gainesville. You ball of unmitigated misery. If you hate the damn place so much, move. And Ballard says my comments can be annoying. Yeah, that's the point, Ballard. TikTok Chess Hall is here. And hopefully TikTok Chess Hall is takes note of the fact that, like I promised, I gave him his mod back. So you're welcome, TikTok Chess Hall. You got your mod back. But yes, I would love to turn the horsepower screws up on the Mustang someday, and maybe I will. But you got to have the priorities. Hoagie's here. Good to see you. I'm doing well. Started out a little cold this morning, but now it's well into the low 80s, and it's beautiful out there. In fact, why am I doing in here doing this crap when I should be out there enjoying the day? But I did that earlier. Let's see. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, guys and gals. I do appreciate that. And, Super Chat's available. The PayPal link's available. I haven't gotten a Super Chat or a PayPal donation in forever. I've stopped talking about it because, it's not necessary. But figured I'd mention it once in a while just to kind of break up the monotony. Pizza Woman's here, my number one troll killer. Apologizing for being late. She was at lunch. That is not a problem, my dear. Ballard wants to know, what do I think of Texas and OU joining the SEC? I'm on record as saying I think it's unnecessary. I don't think they bring anything to the table. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Bring them on. Florida will take care of them like they take care of everybody else. I've seen a lot of comments because somebody posted up, a few people posted up the potential realignments of the divisions in the SEC, where Alabama and Auburn moved to the East. And a lot of people in Dog Nation are really unhappy about that for some reason that I can't really fathom why Dog Nation would be so unhappy about Alabama being in the same division as them. But, maybe somebody can explain it to me someday. Let's see. K-Dog's here. Fake news, K-Dog. We'll beat them just like everybody else will because they don't play defense. Well, then again, there's Florida, but hopefully that changes someday. Georgia doesn't want Alabama, says Ballard. Yeah, that may be. CJ's here. Good to see you. I just, I don't know. I mean, I guess expansion is good for the SEC. I hope they don't divide the SEC into these. If they're going to call them pod, I call them anything. Please don't call them pods. Pods are, what detergent is in, but just call them divisions. Call them, north, south, east, west. Call them, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. Call them anything but fucking pods. Don't do that. Anyway, I'm going to drop the link into the chat because I know Slim Shady Kane is eager to join the StreamYard. You can always rely on him for good comment. But, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC is fine. And the what is it? The Big 12. The Big 12 will either go away or it'll become so weak and ineffectual as to be almost pointless. What's up, Slam?
You're absolutely right. I just want to come in here and annoy the absolute piss out of you because, well, who cares if they call them pods? What does it matter what they call them?
Because I think it's a stupid name. This is my opinion.
That is the epitome of just looking for something to complain about.
Yeah, but I'm so good at it.
Well, I'm not denying that. But they
It's
already
dumb.
announced
Pods. It
they
sounds
already
like something a
announced
5-year-old would come up with.
they already announced they're going to the 3-5-5 schedule next year anyway. So that's
The
a
what?
done deal. The 3-5-5 schedule.
Okay, I missed that one. I must have missed the article or something. I didn't know about that.
It wasn't an article. The SEC announced that's what they're doing.
Okay, I missed the announcement then.
Yeah.
Hoagie thought it was 366. What? Okay, well, tell for those of us who are blissfully ignorant. How you doing, Ballard? Those of us who
What's
are
up?
blissfully ignorant, what is 355? Help
You'll
me
have
out.
You'll have 3 teams in conference that you play every year.
Okay.
So, like they were doing it on Lou's morning show. Just say, for example, you'll play Florida, Tennessee, or excuse me, you'll play Georgia, Tennessee, and I don't know. Let's just say Kentucky every year. Those would be your 3 every year.
Okay.
And in 2024, you'll play the rest of your conference games will be half the conference.
Okay. So 8 total.
And then in 2025, you'll play the other half of the conference teams that you're not playing.
Okay, so you get 3 permanent. So in Florida's case, let's say it's Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. Then
I don't know what it's going to be, just for the sake of
I know. I'm just saying. So then we'll play 5 teams in 1 year, and then the next year we'll play the 5 teams that we didn't play the year before.
Exactly.
And then rotate those 5 teams every other year.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. And they'll keep East-West?
No. East-West will be gone.
It'll split up. It'll split up, though.
It'll just be the 3 teams that you play every year. And then of the teams remaining in the conference, you'll play half 1 year, half the other year.
So the SEC championship will end up being the top 2 out of the 14.
Yep.
So sort of like what the small 12 does this year. Right now.
Exactly what the SEC or the ACC is doing this year, because the ACC is doing the same thing. They're just doing it this year.
Okay, but the small 12 has been doing the top 2 teams play the conference every year.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot easier because the Big 12, you played every other team in the Big 12. So that was a whole lot easier to do.
Okay, so no more Eastern Conference champion, Western Conference champions, just top 2.
No,
so the top 2 could end up being Tennessee, Georgia, or they could end up being Auburn, and well, no, it wouldn't be Auburn. Alabama,
LSU. Yeah.
Yeah.
And leave the traditional Eastern guys out.
It could happen, yes.
Why does my chat keep disconnecting? That's disconcerting. What's up, Ken? Checking in from Pittsburgh. Well,
so, yes, you're going to pods, and you're going to like your pod, or you're just going to get over it.
And you're not going to bitch about it either.
Pods are for Tide.
Yeah, well, now the Gators are in a pod.
Okay, no.
Which makes sense
no
because
Go ahead.
They act like they're eating Tide Pods. Hey, has Billy Napier hired an offensive coordinator yet?
I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to college football in the off season. I'm paying attention to hockey and auto racing.
Okay, well, I'm very rarely am I going to ask a question I don't know the answer to.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Napier has not hired an OC yet.
No, big dummy needs to.
And my camera is blurry again. Man, I gotta get a better camera. Hang on, I'm gonna close it and let it reset itself. But Napier, well, if he hasn't hired an OC by now, he's not going to. So we're kind of late in the game for 2023, isn't it?
He needs to.
He needs to, yeah. I said he needed to. I said he needed to last year. Nobody remembers that I said that because everyone seems to think that I either don't care or I'm Napier Homer or whatever. I've been labeled both. I mean, I both don't care about Napier and then I'm a Napier apologist. And I don't know how I can be both at the same time, but all right.
Very easily.
Yeah, well, you know, this community is inconsistent at best. I've been given so many labels in this community, I've lost count. I mean,
well, that just shows people care.
True. You know, a lot of people expressing to me in PMs and stuff that they're, you know, sorry, I'm not going to be at the Slob Olympics. I appreciate that. I do. But tis what it is. There are a couple of rumors that I would like to quash real quick. I am not going to be in South Carolina doing something else. I don't know how that started. I'm not leaving the state of Florida for what I have to do at that time. And let's see. Somebody said I was afraid of trying to do push-ups against Uncle Lou. No. Uncle Lou is what, 12, 14 years younger than me. He should be able to beat me in push-ups at this stage. So I'm not afraid of Lou, and I'm not going to be in South Carolina doing something else. So stop it. I mean, I'm not afraid of Uncle Lou, period. He's a friend. I shouldn't be afraid of a friend, right? So where are you today? Well, that's true. But he's 600 miles away from me. So how much damage could he do? But he's a friend, so I'm really not worried. Where are you today, Slim?
Just this side of hell.
Just this side of what?
Hell.
Hell. Okay, you described several cities as hell. Hell would be somewhere in Florida? No, you like Florida. The state, anyway.
Actually, I'm not too far from Jackson State at the moment.
Oh, you're in Alabama.
No.
Yeah.
Jackson State's in Mississippi.
I thought Jackson State was in Alabama. Okay.
Jacksonville State is in Alabama.
Jacksonville State. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. Mississippi is definitely hell. So I've been through there a couple of times. I didn't want to stop in Mississippi. I was afraid if I stopped with a Star of David around my neck, I'd end up in a tree or hanging from a tree anyway.
Why would you think that?
A little bit too southern for me. No, Mississippi. In all seriousness, Mississippi is a very nice state. I visited there several times. I had a good time every time I went there. Just maybe
I hear that from a lot of people, and I know what they're alluding to. And yes, you can still find that bunch of idiots running around, but number one, it ain't a bunch of them anymore. And number two, you got to go looking pretty damn hard to find them.
I know. I was kidding around. Jesus Christ.
Well, like I said, that wasn't picking on you. I'm sure a lot of people.
Beggin Megan says, Beggin Megan loves Mississippi.
I've never been.
Beggin Megan, Beggin Megan continues to mystify me. Lives in Gainesville, Florida, hates it there, and won't leave. Just absolute mystery to me. Bulldog JC's here. Good to see you. Some of the worst roads in the nation are Mississippi roads. Baylor Man's here. I didn't see Baylor Man come in. I apologize. I was not ignoring you, Baylor Man. I just didn't see it come in.
Yeah, well, I've been on some pretty bad ones in Georgia. I've been on some pretty bad ones in Ohio. I think bad roads are a nationwide problem.
Well, maybe if Pete Booty stopped chest feeding his kid and paid more attention to the job he's unqualified for, maybe we could fix some of that stuff. But
that's not his job.
That's just one man's opinion.
That's not his job.
Well, he's the Secretary of Transportation.
So what? That's not the job of the federal government.
Well, they're supposed to distribute money anyway.
No, they're not.
But they do
that's
anyway.
That's what they've started doing, but that's not what their purpose is.
No, I agree. They constitutionally they have no role in that in that endeavor. I mean, that's what the 10th Amendment was for. But
here's a great idea. Stop promoting the problem of looking to that bunch of slapdicks, regardless of which side is in charge, to fix all your problems. They are not capable. They are not equipped.
Well, they're definitely not capable. Boy,
neither side is.
No, neither side is. That's why there was a 10th Amendment. But yeah, they've proven time. But they just passed that infrastructure bill, trillions of dollars, and they can't fix some of the roads. I mean, come on, man.
Just because it said infrastructure doesn't mean it's actually for infrastructure.
Well, yes, I know that, Slim. I mean, I did major in that stuff in college. I know how the shit works. I know how it's supposed to work, and I know how it actually works.
Oh, so you have a useless
how
college
it actually
degree.
Works. Huh? What?
I said, so you have a useless college degree.
Yes, very useless. That's why I went into computers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to knock you, but I mean, I've known other people with poli-sci degrees to pretty much admit that's a useless degree.
Yeah, I should have gone. I should have gone for a CIS degree, but it was kind of late in the game when I found out I had a strong aptitude for computers. Because remember when I was going to UF, this was 83 to 87, and then I picked up a master's degree. So 83 through 90. You got to remember the state of computers back then was primitive compared to where it is now.
Well, yeah, they were just getting to the point where it'd fit on a desk and not take up a whole warehouse.
That's true. I remember the computer lab at UF, the computer building at UF, brand new building when I was still going there in the mid 80s. They had a big old auditorium type room full of PCs for students to come and use to do papers and stuff. They were all PC XTs with dual floppy drives. No hard drives. That was
I remember when they did away with the floppy disk and people lost their mind. They're like, "What the hell are we gonna
Yeah,
do?"
it's funny. The iMac that I'm using right here, it doesn't even have a CD drive anymore. I had to.
Common. I mean,
I had to go and buy an external.
When's the last time anybody bought a disc?
It's been a long time, but when I bought both my daughters, I bought them Apple laptops when they went off to college. They were thin laptops. They didn't have CD drives, but you still needed a CD drive back then occasionally. So I bought an external one. When the older one bought her own computer, she bought I think a HP or a Dell. And I took the CD drive, and it's back there in the closet. I haven't pulled it out in years.
I just have an Acer.
Acer? Jesus. They still around? Acer.
Yeah.
What version of Windows are you running?
10.
10? Isn't that a little old now? Yeah, I don't even know what version of Windows is current.
It might be, isn't it 11 or 12 now?
I don't know. No, Hoagie, I've got nothing against HP or Dell. I stopped using PCs in 2000. Oh God, when did I? 2007. I went to an iMac, and never looked back. Windows 11 is the current one. Okay.
Hey, Hogue, I'll take that a step further. I'm not a fan of Rihanna in the least bit. I don't care what they did. It was a terrible show.
I'm so glad.
Music. She's got terrible music, and she looks halfway decent after 2 hours of makeup. And the funky bitch is built like a 2x4. There's nothing to look at.
Who was asking about? Oh, Hoagie was asking about Rihanna.
Yeah, he was asking how could CJ not like the halftime show or whatever. Very easily.
Well, I didn't see the halftime show, and I haven't seen clips of it either, so I can't comment on any of that. But the only thing I can comment on with Rihanna is, yeah, she needs industrial strength makeup just to look passable. And
I mean, I don't know if she does or not. I've never seen her without makeup, but I mean, okay. Other than that,
I don't find her to be particularly
she's
attractive.
As flat as a 2x4. There's nothing there to see.
Yeah, I'm not I don't find her to be a particularly attractive woman, but opinions vary. Somebody thought she was attractive enough to knock her up, so there you go.
Yeah, Chris Brown knocked her up too. So what?
I thought Chris Brown beat the crap out of her.
Yeah, well, potato.
Wow.
We'll just call her kid Chris Brown's greatest hit.
Well, who is she stooping now?
Hell, I don't know. Don't particularly care.
Does anyone know who knocked up Rihanna? Let me know in the comments.
No, you have to care to be a hater, CJ. I don't care about Lizzo either because I don't like her music.
Lizzo?
Doesn't make me a hater. Doesn't make me
Where
a hater.
Where did that come from?
Well, he said it sounds like I'm being a hater. You have to care to be a hater. I don't care about Rihanna.
I'm not even familiar with Lizzo. The only thing I'm familiar with Lizzo is I've seen a picture or two of her with a wide-angle lens, I might add.
I found
you can't miss that big bitch. I promise you that.
I found who. You asked who knocked up Rihanna. I found it.
Okay, who knocked her up?
ASAP Rocky. Some rapper.
Oh, of course.
Who the fuck is that?
Right.
I've never heard of ASAP rap.
Rap peaked 15 years ago, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the I think we talked about this last week. I like the old school rap, the current stuff that's out now. It's like
shit.
I don't listen to it anymore.
It's shit.
Yeah, well,
it is.
Brandon Pratt's here.
Hey, ever since they came out with that song "Stanky Leg," it's all gone downhill from there.
I think Brandon Pratt made the comment of the decade right there. That is the comment of the.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a screenshot that. That's good. Oh my god!
Hey, can we spread some of this cowboy hate? Can we spread some of this cowboy hate over to the Dolphins?
I'm going to leave that up for a while.
Because the Dolphins are even in worse shape than the Cowboys.
There's a lot.
I'm leaving that comment up for a while. Nice. Yes, agree, Hoagie. Nicely done, Mr. Pratt. Very good. Very good.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love the Cowboys hate. I just want to spread some of that over to the Dolphins as well. That's all.
Dolphins are irrelevant. I don't watch the No Fun League anymore, and even I know that the Dolphins are irrelevant. And as long as they have Tua to booga and his glass made self, they never gonna be relevant.
Hey, now you got if you're gonna pronounce his name, pronounce it right.
What?
Yeah, it's Tua it's Tua Tagovailoa.
No, it's Tua
Honda
Tagovailoa.
Bolova? What? He's named after a watch.
Tua Tagovailoa. As he turns the ball over.
It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh. I also saw on YouTube somebody I shared it on my Facebook page because I thought it was it was so not funny it was funny. It was about I don't remember how long the video was, but it was the top 10 Super Bowl commercials in their entirety. Somebody put them all together and made a video out of them. I shared it. I watched that video, and they paid $7 million a piece for a 30-second spot, and not one of those commercials was either funny or special. Well, except for the one with the guy who played Kylo Ren in the last trilogy of Star Wars.
Yeah.
The trash ones, the wokey trash ones. That one was okay, but the other ones they were all collectively garbage. Just $7 million for nothing. Slim, why are you trying to get in here twice?
Oh, that happens sometimes. Drop the one that's on.
Okay, Slim, you're back.
Thank you for reminding me that shitty Star Wars exists. Thanks, Disney, for fucking up my childhood.
Oh, I didn't mean to ruin your day, sir. I really didn't.
I'm doing my best to forget those fucking movies exist.
Braden, Mr. Pratt, the last 3 Star Wars movies were collectively horrible. So much wokey garbage, trying to revisionist history bullshit. I mean, they were just terrible. Just terrible. Terrible. And well, I tell you, this stream is weird. I mean, the chat keeps disconnecting and reconnecting.
I'll say this: Rogue One wasn't bad. Everything else that Disney's put out in terms of Star Wars has been dog shit.
Rogue One was good. I thought Solo was pretty good, but the actual trilogy, final trilogy, was just. And the last one, resurrecting the Emperor. Oh, come on. I mean, I know you're supposed to suspend disbelief when you watch these movies. That's part of the fun. It's just suspension of disbelief. But, I mean, he died. And you resurrected him and had him hooked up to this monstrous life support system. That's just lazy writing, in my opinion. Oh. So Rick Sanchez is here.
Look who you put in charge of them. What success has J.J. Abrams ever had? He fucked up Star Trek. He fucked up Star Wars.
Yep.
What's the guy ever done?
Slim Shady. I'm sorry, Slim Shady. Sanchez is here in one of his alternate personalities, being a putz as usual. I gotta love Sanchez. He is
Well, see-
nothing if not consistent.
See,
I miss
I'm
it.
with Pizza Woman's comment. Because
What?
I have signed the same petition 10 years in a row to get Metallica to do the halftime show.
But this
And for whatever
comment,
reason, yes, let's get some variety. Let's get something everybody can get behind. I know a lot of people like Prince. I don't like Prince. I know a lot of people like Tom Petty. I don't like Tom Petty.
well, you don't have to worry about those two. They're dead.
Well, no shit, but you get my point.
I get your point. I don't think there'll ever be a heavy metal band on the halftime show for the simple reason that the demographic the NFL is going after doesn't relate to heavy metal.
Yeah,
So,
well, maybe, but the only act to ever sell more albums than Metallica is Michael Jackson. So I do think that Metallica kind of crosses some of those bridges into other demographics.
Okay. And we'll just do our normal thing with Shippies or Shippies, and we'll just time him out because I always time him out. I love you, Jay. Go sit in the corner like you usually do when you pop in, and then we'll leave you. Then I'll leave you alone.
Hashtag NASCAR driver.
Okay. Put that one in timeout too. Anyway. What were we talking about again? I got distracted by Jay being Jay.
We were talking about some bands like Metallica.
I would love to see
about how much
Metallica do
Metallica needs to do the Super Bowl halftime show.
I think Metallica would do a fantastic job in the halftime show, but like I said, that's not the demographic that the NFL is attacking right now. Daytona is this Sunday, actually. Yes.
But
right now is a
like
great
I
time
said,
to be in Daytona.
The numbers completely disagree with what you're saying, Saleen. The only act to sell more albums ever than Metallica is Michael Jackson. So
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that I don't think I think the NFL is targeting a specific demographic, and I'm going to leave it at that. I think you all know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, I don't really want to explain it to you without risking my YouTube channel. But Metallica does not appeal to that demographic, and that's why it's not going to happen.
Well, the numbers say you're wrong, sir.
Well, I reserve the right to be wrong. I also reserve the right to be right.
Rick Sanchez, you keep that up, and I'm going to time your ass out.
Yep, we lost Ballard. Yeah, come on, Sanchez. Metallica is not old and overrated. Come on, man. Stop it. But yes, Daytona is Daytona 500. Actually, it's Daytona Speed Week right now. The Twin 150s, the truck race, the Xfinity race, and the Cup race all start this week. Actually, they start tomorrow. And we're finally going to – I mean, that bullshit they did 2 weeks ago in the LA Coliseum, that's not NASCAR, my friends. That is them trying to force something into force something, trying to put a race on with big 700 horsepower automobiles on a little itty bitty track. That's not real. Not at the Cup level anyway. I know short tracks are the backbone of of car racing and NASCAR, birthplace, and all that nonsense. Ballard had to leave. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Ballard. I always appreciate the support. But you'll see the real NASCAR, or at least a version of the real NASCAR on Sunday. The
Plenty,
super
Megan.
speedway NASCAR.
Plenty.
I love Hoagie. I love Bristol. I think, but Bristol is a half-mile track, and there's at least some straightaways on it. Whereas that bullshit in the Coliseum, it was like the cars were never going straight, and the passing was impossible. Yeah, twin 125s. Did I say 150s? I'm sorry, 125s. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Daytona weekend. And Sanchez is still pecking away at the Metallica crack. Oh well. Feel free to time him out.
Megan. I don't have to show you anything. You're the one denying it. So you prove it's not true.
Well, CJ, I mean, some people say NASCAR is boring. Some people don't. I say, for example, IndyCar and F1 are boring as hell. There's almost no passing. You've only got like two teams in each racing series that can actually win the race. They actually have a shot. The other ones are just basically filling, track. F1 especially is boring to me because they don't even run real engines anymore. You only have 2, maybe 3 teams that have a shot at winning. They've overregulated and overruled the racing to the cars and the racing to death. F1 to me is pointless at this point, and I used to love F1.
Megan, we can give you hours. You're not going to find it. It's just a simple fact of when you sell that many units, just like Michael Jackson, you can't do it without crossing multiple demographics.
No, I agree, Hoagie, that there is more passing in IndyCar than F1. That's like saying, this guy is the best hockey player in all of Ecuador. I mean, come on, man. IndyCar is a yawn fest. I watch the Indy 500 now. It puts me to sleep.
Same thing with NASCAR.
No, I disagree, but it's just my opinion. Biggest racing day of the year is always Memorial Day, Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. You start the day with Monaco. You have Indy 500, and then you have the Coke 600 at night. And the Monaco, you can't pass. You literally can't pass with those cars because they're too big and they're too wide, and the track is too narrow. Monaco actually used to be an exciting race back when the cars were a lot smaller and they actually used real engines that weren't over-regulated and electronically controlled to death. So that's a boring race.
NASCAR's the same way.
NASCAR doesn't use hardly any electronics, just for the injection system. Now, NASCAR at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that's a boring race. The track is too flat, and the field gets spread out, and all of a sudden it's just like, Well, IndyCar is the same way. I don't have Spotify, Sanchez. My younger daughter has Spotify, which ironically I'm still paying for. I need to stop that.
Why would you pay for it when you can get it for free?
I don't know, because I don't know anything about Spotify, so I didn't know you could get it for free. Maybe paying
just like
for
YouTube. There's a free version and a premium version that you can pay for without ads.
Maybe that's why I'm paying for it. It's only $11 a month. Maybe I ought to talk to my kid about that when she comes home this weekend. Let's see. Megan says, here, I'll just put it up because I'm coughing. And we started with the crank calls. Okay, we'll just shut the phone down. You got anything to say about that, Slim?
Yes, when Metallica played in Memphis in May, it was absolutely a diverse crowd. But I don't get where that matters at all.
I don't know. Well, that was sort of my point when I said that Metallica, even though they're a fantastic act, and I think they should be in the Super Bowl halftime show. I just don't think that the NFL is targeting the demographic that appeals to Metallica. I think they're appealing to a different demographic that is more, how shall we say, urban. I think we'll go with that. Again, my opinion.
Well, Metallica appeals to a very urban demographic, but okay.
Okay, well, I don't know enough about Metallica's demographic appeal. I just, I look at video of metal concerts, and let's just say most of the people are of the skin type that reflects light instead of absorbs it.
Who cares?
I don't.
I honestly think it's really racist to focus on the skin type of somebody who's there.
I agree. I'm just saying that I think this is why the NFL won't consider groups like Metallica.
Well, that seems very racist.
Well, I think the NFL has a racist outlook. They're trying. They're one of the people. Well, not people. They're one of the organizations that, in my humble opinion, are concentrating more on dividing the country into, tribes and everything, instead of trying to unite the country and unite the fan base. I think they're tribalizing their fan base with the things that they do, the ads that they run, the policies that they work with. But that does not put them outside of, that does not make them atypical for the past few years.
Sir UGA, that was absolutely a holding call. He was trying to take Bro's jersey off of him.
I looked at the video of that call one time. I couldn't tell either way. It looked like he put his hand on his jersey on his waist. But I didn't see him grab on.
He actually did it twice. The first time he grabbed a hold of his waist like they were taking a prom picture. And the second time he tried to snatch his jersey off. I guess it was after the prom. But
oh, okay.
That was absolutely a holding call.
Well, for me, it was just, the controversy just for me was typical no fun league. They don't know what a catch is. They don't know what an illegal hit is. They don't know what a holding call is. They make these rules that they can't enforce consistently.
It's kind of like I've said many times before. Even if it's a bad call, there are bad calls built into every football game that has been played and will be played.
Megan says Slim Shady Kane is a Lubot. that may be the funniest thing I've ever read. Have you ever heard Slim and Lou argue with each other, sir? The Slim is many things. Uncle Lou automaton is definitely not one of them.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that, it was bad enough that he got roasted by Uncle Lou. But then he turns around and gets roasted by Rob Sanders on a regular basis. So you kind of have to feel for him.
Who, Megan Megan?
Yes.
Oh, Bulldog, Georgia Bulldog Will is here, our resident New York Jets fan. Good to see him.
I'm just saying, being a Jets fan may be an indication that you have some masochist-like tendencies. I'm just saying.
Now, there's an interesting question. I have been of the opinion, and I've been posting on a lot of people's videos, that Bulldog Nation is going to walk around for the next little while wearing black armbands in mourning for the loss of Monken. Nobody's really responded back, so that I know of. So, and I remember Mike Bobo's first stint as the OC or something like that with Georgia did not go over very well.
Wasn't that back when Mark Richt was still the head coach?
I think so, but I'm not a Georgia Bulldog coaching historian.
Right.
But I think Bobo worked under Rick. So I don't know. I haven't really heard too many Georgia fans overly thrilled that they lost Monken. But they seem to uniformly be of the opinion that, oh, Uncle Lou's here. I think Georgia Bulldog Nation seems to be of the opinion that everything's going to be okay.
Well, I would tend to agree with that for the same reason, because I've said the same thing about Alabama before. They were able to, plug and play coordinators after a certain amount of time because it was an oiled machine running at that point. I think Georgia's in a very similar situation.
Yeah, and yes, Will, I know the Gators don't have anything for Georgia right now. It got nothing to do with Napier. Got everything to do with the fact the last three coaches couldn't seem to consistently recruit or develop quarterbacks or develop defensive players or anything, lots of incompetency down in Gainesville for a while. Been hard to be a Gator fan sometimes. Gotta admit. Not fun to be a Gator fan recently, but I ain't abandoning my team.
You can find times it's hard to be a fan of literally every team.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was no fun being a Georgia football fan in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the early 2000s and so on. I'm sure,
Or an Alabama fan in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, that's true. Or an Auburn fan right now, or a Tennessee fan since 1999.
Ouchie. Well, no, Tennessee made the SEC championship game, and what was that, 07?
Yeah, Florida had a down year in 07. But hey, at times it's been hard to be a Miami fan. It's been hard to be a Seminole fan. It's been hard to be fill in the blank, sir. I've said I said this to the Georgia fans when they won the Natty a few weeks ago. Congratulations. Enjoy it. Revel in it. Brag about it. Pound your chest. Because nothing lasts forever. So, yeah, Lou's got a fairly salient point, although,
Well, almost. Because didn't Florida win it in 08?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the beginning of the Obama administration, so they made it just past W.
Technically, the Marxist Muslim administration didn't start until 2009.
Okay, well, even then, Florida still made the SEC title game.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Raquel Welch passed away. That's a shame. Yeah, I remember the 2009 season because, we lost to Alabama in the championship game, and we ended up in the Sugar Bowl against Cincinnati. And I was stuck in Sacramento, People's Republic of Californication, attending my idiot sister's wedding, which was the last time I was around my sister. And
hey, that's a great song by Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way. California.
Yeah, I know. And I remember having to bribe the hotel we were in had what they call the sports bar, was kinda. I had to bribe the manager with cash money. Hang on, I gotta bring K-Dog in. What's up, big boy?
How you doing?
Yeah, I had to bribe the guy with cash money to put the Sugar Bowl on the big TV so I could watch a Sugar Bowl on something resembling a decent TV, because he didn't want to put it on because the Sacramento Kings were playing that night.
Well, I mean, whether you're talking about that time frame or now, I'm not one of those people that thinks, and I've heard Lou talk about this, it's not a down season just because you didn't make the national title game. I don't think there's anything wrong with making a Sugar Bowl or an Orange Bowl, playing in your conference championship game. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's a successful season.
And Will, I will continue to say it because I know it annoys you. Hey, if you want me to stop, I'll stop. Jesus. Just tell me. You want me to stop? I'll stop.
Got some movies in there.
What is that? Oh, look at that.
Stash box.
How big is your collection right now, K-Dog?
As far as physical media?
Yeah.
It's over 6,000.
Jesus Christ. I got about 1,000 discs.
Let me see.
I thought mine would. Lou actually came to my house, saw all those discs, and he said, "My God, you have a collection that's as big as K-Dog's." And I said, "Nope, not even close, sir."
Mine's somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500. I ain't touching it.
I prefer to have the discs because the thing I'm worried about with the streaming thing is you don't own the media. You don't own the movie. You basically the movie isn't with you. It's in the cloud somewhere, right? What if they decide that, for example, let's say, what if the woke powers that be say that Blazing Saddles is no longer acceptable in polite society? And
they did that. They did that at one time. Remember, they did that with Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, if I want to watch Blazing Saddles, which I want to watch once in a while because I still think that movie is hysterically funny. Mel Brooks is a genius. I can't watch it if streaming service kills it, or I choose not to belong to a streaming service because I don't watch TV anymore. It's mostly all YouTube. So I have back there somewhere. I have the discs. I have a very nice disc set of Blazing Saddles, so I can watch the movie anytime I want on my Blu-ray, and I can do that for I don't have to worry about those movies being canceled if I have the media. So that's why I continue to buy discs. And I continue to hope they keep making discs.
I got 6,061 according to my spreadsheet.
Okay. Blazing Saddles was definitely funnier than Spaceballs, sir.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I thought Spaceballs was funny, but Blazing Saddles appeals to the Jewish person in me.
Summer
school. Well, I get it, and I'm not knocking either one. I'm just saying that's not such a clear cut. One is definitely better than the other.
Now, Now I use a software program. I have an app on my phone called My Movies,
Yeah.
and
Is that the one
they
from?
I can't pull it up now because I shut my phone down because of the crank calls. But
Is that the
every
one?
time I buy a movie, I can just scan the barcode on the back into
Yeah.
my phone.
That's the one from Blu-ray.com, right?
I got it off the App Store, so I'm not really sure.
It's by Blu-ray.com, I think.
Yeah, it works really well, and I'd say about 95% of the movies that I buy, they're already in the database, and it's really easy to add movies to it if they're not in there. But that's how I track my. And the nice thing about it is, if I go to a store and I see a Blu-ray or something that I want to buy, I can't remember if I already have it because old person memory's going away.
The older movie.
I can just pop it up real quick.
Now,
Wait a
see,
minute.
I don't have the hate for Caddyshack 2 that y'all two have, Will and Luke.
I thought Caddyshack 2 was okay. I don't have any hate for it.
I mean, Caddyshack 1 is definitely better. I'm not going to argue that point, but I don't have a whole lot of hate for Caddyshack 2.
Got the final countdown on 4K.
Oh, that was a pretty good movie. I love the premise of that movie. A modern day nuclear powered aircraft carrier gets pulled back in time to World War II.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen in World War II if with their knowledge and the firepower of that carrier, would Pearl Harbor have ever happened?
Yeah, they could stop it.
Yeah.
Somebody
actually.
Yes, it would have still happened because a whole bunch of people weren't even on the ships.
Yeah,
they caught them napping.
But there's a YouTube channel that I subscribe to called Blinkoff's Battlegrounds. It's a military geopolitical channel. That stuff appeals to me. He did a video on what would happen if one single World War current Nimitz class carrier got pulled back to World War II. How long could it continue to fight? And the answer actually was not long, because while the carrier could run indefinitely because of the nuclear power, it would quickly run out of missiles and jet fuel. And jet fuel wasn't a thing in World War II until the very end, when Germany came out with the Messerschmitt 262.
To me, if you're gonna do theories on that, I've always found the one much more interesting. The ones like, what if Hitler hadn't broke the Hitler-Stalin Pact, and he's not fighting on three fronts at once?
Here's your one.
Yeah. Oh, there she is, super tits. She was a hottie back then.
Cassandra.
If Hitler hadn't tried to fight a multi-front war, the war could have ended much differently. But I don't know which one he should have concentrated more on. Should he have concentrated on, the Battle of Britain, or should he have concentrated on the Eastern Front? I think he should have concentrated on the Battle of Britain and not broken the cardinal rule of warfare, which is never get involved in a land war in Asia.
I don't know what this movie's about. I ain't watched this one.
I've never heard of that one.
It's probably a horror movie, I guess. It says based or inspired by true events. I don't know.
I think K-Dog came on here just to show off.
Hey, I just got new movies in the mail. So
he's here to drink diet. He's here to drink Coke Zero and show off.
Hey, I found these cups at what you call it? What's the name of that damn store now?
Restaurant Supply House.
Ollie's.
Oh, we have an Ollie's nearby here.
I found them. These like $1.
That's not bad.
I bought 6 of them.
What else you got?
This is a new one I ain't seen yet. Got Mads Mikkelsen in it, called Arctic.
Never heard of it.
I guess he crashed a plane or something. Let's see. Yeah,
Hell,
plane crash. So he crashed a plane, I guess, is trying to survive, I guess. Yeah. I got the Steven Seagal movie there.
Good Lord.
Which one is that one?
Called A Dangerous Man.
I hadn't heard of that Seagal movie.
I got some Nicolas Cage movies.
I got no hate, but and you almost just took the words out of my mouth. I got no hate for the older Seagal movies, but he's starting to get like Nicolas Cage with some of the bullshit he's putting out.
There you go. Kill Chain.
But I mean, I get it. Nicolas Cage, those Bavarian castles don't pay for themselves.
There you go. Vampire's Kiss.
Kill Chain must have gone right to DVD.
Yeah,
well, that's a lot of what. That's what Nicolas Cage has done for the past decade and a half. Is a whole
pay the ghost.
He must have done a whole bunch of straight to DVD movies. What's going on, man?
Grand Isle.
Not much.
Where do you find this shit, man?
I got this on HamptonBook.com.
Oh,
They're like $4 or $5, I think, a piece or something. Yeah.
Isn't Aaron Rodgers getting past his expiration date at this point?
Nobody is trading for Aaron Rodgers and that $50 million a year contract.
This one got Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan in it. You think it's any good?
No, probably not.
I don't think they probably only in it for like 2 minutes or something. They just show them
in the combined age of those two, about 240.
Probably. I haven't seen this one.
Jackie Chan's like, if I'm not mistaken, Jackie Chan's either in his 70s or pushing 70. He ain't no spring chicken.
Yeah.
This is true. I've heard of Mr. Saturday Night. I never saw it.
Got a 3D movie, Final Destination.
Oh, God.
I still got a 3D TV, so. And this one's, I guess, based on a true story about the guy that made the DeLorean.
Hey, the DeLorean's coming back.
Driven.
Did you know that you could there's a warehouse, I forgot exactly where in the States. They basically bought all the old DeLorean parts and molds and everything, and all the blueprints and diagrams, electronics and everything from the DeLorean factory in Ireland, brought it all over to the States. And they have enough parts to start building DeLoreans again for a little while if they wanted to. They're basically right now a spare for someone who's restoring a DeLorean or trying to rebuild one.
Somebody bought the brand DeLorean and they're putting out a DeLorean EV.
Oh God. The DeLorean, the concept of that car. I remember back in the day. I followed that car's development through Car and Driver magazine. That car was supposed to be a supercar at one time. I mean, they weren't gonna. They put in that V6 from Peugeot, Volvo, whatever. Ooh, Battle Angels making country fried steak for dinner.
Ooh,
that sounds good.
Yeah, Uncle Lou, you need a spreadsheet.
The DeLorean was originally supposed to have like a twin turbo V6 or a very powerful V8. Maybe even they were even talking about contracting getting V8s from Ferrari or Lamborghini or Porsche. And it all fell apart, and they ended up with this piece of shit, anemic, Peugeot-based, Volvo-based V6 that made no power. And that killed the car.
That's all right. There's a guy on YouTube who dropped a Mopar SRT10 in one of those things.
Traveling Fools is here. I saw at a car show, I at various car shows, I've seen DeLoreans with turbo diesels.
Yeah.
I think one of them was a Mercedes turbo diesel. Actually makes more power than the Peugeot. I've seen one with a 454 big block in it. That thing could. I'm surprised it could keep the rear end on the front end on the ground with that. I've seen 5-liter Mustang conversion. There are ways to make that car respectable in terms of performance.
Well, yeah. Drop a 2JZ in it. That thing will scoot.
Oh yeah. It's like the Fiero. I remember the Fiero. The Fiero was supposed to be a killer of a car, and Chevy lobbied GM management to neuter the car. They didn't want the car competing with the Corvette. There were plans to put a really hot motor in the Fiero back in the day, and it never came to pass because Chevy knew that a decent amount of horsepower in a car that weighed nothing was going to kill their Corvette. And back then, the Corvettes weren't making a hell of a lot of power. I think they were, 200 horsepower or something like that with the anemic V8s that they put in back then.
You know, you were talking about DeLorean. There's a company in Evansville, Indiana, that got a hold of the original body molds for the first gen Dodge Power Wagons.
Yep.
And they're making basically resto mod. They're making brand new Power Wagons, but you've got the option of, the big block V8 Hemi or the inline six Cummins.
Let's see. Bet is in here. Somebody named I Show Speed. Never seen that name before. Pizza Woman, keep an eye on that ID on that person, please. I have my spidey sense is tingling. So, by the way, again, don't forget to click the thumbs up button for me, please. That does help. Last time I looked, I was at 15. My YouTube screen keeps freezing up, so I don't know if I'm at 15 or more by now. It won't update for some reason. It'd be that way sometimes. There's a company that makes I forgot the name of the company, but they've been making sheet metal parts for Mustangs and Camaros and other cars from the old muscle car era for years. They make enough parts that you could basically build a new old Mustang out of it. You can build a 67, 68 Mustang out of parts from there. You can basically go through the catalog, buy fenders, rear fenders, chassis, doors, hood, trunk.
Well, yeah, you can find that for a lot of stuff, but I mean, that honestly kills the value of it because the value is in original parts.
Yeah, they Battle Angel, they've been a lot of companies you wouldn't expect making SUVs now. Aston
Lamborghini makes an SUV.
Porsche
or SUV. Come on, man. Jaguar makes an SUV now. I mean,
yeah, they all do.
Year one. Thank you, Jay. That's right. Year one.
Yeah, year one's been around forever.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that they've been the business of building of being able to go through a company's catalog and build your own new old muscle car is that's been around a while. I didn't know that you could do the Power Wagon. I like the old Power Wagons. They really look good.
If I were to say two dream vehicles, because I've definitely gotten, even before I started driving trucks for a living, I got more into trucks. The original Power Wagon, so you're talking 40, somewhere between 43 and 45 is when the original Power Wagon came out. And then, and this truck's just absolutely beautiful. The 1955 Ford F-100. That is a beautiful truck.
New guy in the chat, Jim Ratliff. Good to see you, sir. Hadn't seen that ID before, so I have to acknowledge that. Bulldog JC says there was a country many years ago that bought the Ford Falcon design and everything from Ford, and that country started building and selling Falcons in that country. Are you talking about the Falcon that was made in the U.S. or the Falcon that was made in Australia? That is a key distinction. Because I understand that Australia, the last holdouts of natively built cars in Australia were Ford and Holden, which is basically General Motors. They quit making cars several years ago. Now, Australia is pretty much 100% imports. They don't have any domestically produced cars anymore. And Australia was produced, and back when we were doing all the pollution-controlled, anemic pieces of garbage, they were still building muscle cars. So Australia dropping their car industry essentially was kind of a sad footnote in the history of the automobile, my opinion.
That's all right. Subaru Australia kind of laid claim to Subaru, so I guess you can give them that.
But no, I mean, if anyone who's ever seen the movie Mad Max, I'm sure K-Dog has.
I have.
Who has?
Will recognize that the car.
Maybe you talking about a new one or the old one?
Well, actually, the new one that they made, that goofy one, they actually had a version of the triple black car in there briefly, and then they wrecked it.
I seen that one.
But if you saw Mad Max or Mad Max Road Warrior, you saw the Ford Falcon that was modified to be the what do they call it? The supercharger. Well, it had that supercharger that you could turn on and off, which is obviously bullshit. You can't really do that. What do they call it? The Interceptor, the triple black Interceptor, which was a beautiful car. I really thought that was a great looking car. And that was basically a Ford Falcon with a body kit that you could buy, from a Australia-based company that made body kits for the Ford Falcon. They just bought one and put it on a stock Ford Falcon, and hey, V8 Interceptor. One of my all-time favorite movies, the original Mad Max. Just so cornball and corny that it was. There was a lot of fun. I am the Knight Rider.
You can't like Mad Max. Mel Gibson's been canceled.
Oh, well, and the ironic thing is, Mel Gibson is supposed to be some kind of rabid anti-Semite, and I'm Jewish. But
they're still talking about trying to do a Lethal Weapon 5.
Oh God!
Good God! They really are too old for that shit.
The last thing I need to see is a shriveled up Mel Gibson and a shriveled up Danny Glover, spouting off that woke bullshit nonsense. I don't need it.
I don't think Mel Gibson's very woke. Actually, he's one of those.
No, Glover is. I mean, Danny Glover is basically. He had his head so far up. What is that guy that ran Venezuela into the ground? What was his name?
Oh, you're talking about Maduro?
No, the guy before him.
Oh, wow.
It'll come to it. Somebody in the chat will know.
I'm having a but I know you're talking about.
I mean, Glover had his head so far up that dictator's ass. He could tell you what he had for breakfast that day.
I mean, it's funny
Hugo
how they're kind of,
Chavez, thank you.
yeah.
Hugo
and
Chavez.
it's kind of funny how they're polar opposites like that, though, because I mean, Mel Gibson's really kind of turned into one of those fanatical religious nut jobs.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say fanatical, like the sect of Catholicism he belongs to has not recognized any pope in like the last 300, 400 years.
Actually, Shipes, that was a 351 police interceptor, but
You know, they do that whole pre-Vatican II shit. They do that whole pre-Vatican II shit where the priest is facing away from you giving the sermon. So it kind of looks like a cooking show from the back.
Oh, wait. I got to correct myself. 352 was a Y. It was a Y block. So you're right. I made a mistake. I was thinking about 351 Windsor and Cleveland, but there was a 352 Y block back in the 50s. So my bad. I keep forgetting about the Y block. Not a great motor, but not a bad motor.
So decent.
No, it was my mistake, Jay. My mistake. But yeah, Mel Gibson has turned into a really quite a bit of a crackpot.
Well,
I have to say.
Some of it was on him. Some of it was on stuff his father said. So I don't really put that on him. Like, his father's one of those Holocaust deniers.
Yeah. I get to deal with those every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, you know, okay. Sure, it's Mel Gibson's dad, so Mel Gibson's going to catch some flack for that. But I was like, well, you can't really control what your daddy says. If he wants to believe goofy shit, believe goofy shit. I mean, whatever.
You heard about him making a sequel to the Passion of the Christ as well.
What?
Good God.
Oh, really? We got to live through that?
I mean, didn't they do it up till the start? What is there to do a sequel about?
Called the
Revelation? I
Passion
don't
of
know.
Christ Resurrection.
Oh my God.
Fuck. How are you going to turn that into a 2-hour movie? Seriously.
You know what? I didn't see Passion of the Christ or Apocalypto. I think I'll skip Passion of the Christ Resurrection.
Well, I've seen both of them. I'll give him credit for Passion of the Christ. That, as far as Mel Gibson doing a historical movie, that was pretty good. Apocalypto was fucking terrible because he couldn't make up. I mean, there's so many problems in that movie.
Hey, K-Dog, who's your buddy?
Who?
Behind you.
Oh, Rascal? Come here.
Doggo!
I never saw Passion of the Christ. I didn't see it till like years after it came out. And I mean, I don't have a problem with the movie necessarily, but like I remember when it came out, like churches buying out whole movie theaters and busing families in to see it. And after I saw it, I'm like, kids don't need to see this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Which one? Passion?
Yes.
I didn't see it.
Well, trust me,
I
I did. It's a very gruesome movie.
Well, Roman times, you know.
Well, I understand that, and that's fine. Don't take your fucking kids to see it.
No,
That's
I
just bad
agree.
parenting.
You ain't wrong. Well, you know, it ain't my thing.
Traveling Fools, he can't figure out if Apocalyptico is about the Aztecs or the Mayans. He tries to make it halfway about both. He says it's about the Aztecs, but then he has the Spanish time-traveling Spaniards show up because they showed up after the fucking Aztecs, not the Mayans. So Mel Gibson can't make up his fucking mind about anything.
Well, Mel Gibson's a little bit touched, you know. I mean,
Yeah, well, and whoever wrote fucking Braveheart can't seem to get dates right because they fucked all that up too.
looks like Bet and Traveling Fools are going at it.
I can read the subtitles just fine.
Ow. I didn't see it.
Well,
I saw a clip of Apocalypto at one time.
I'm a history nerd, and the inaccuracies in history just bug the shit out of me.
Boy, Bet seems to bring out the anger in a few people in the chat. I got to say. Oh. So now you got Will and Bet and Traveling Fools going at each other. Oh well.
Yeah.
And then there's Pizza Woman talking about snow. What is this? What is this snow you speak of? I know not what you speak of.
I think she's talking about Midwestern snow. There you go.
Oh, all right.
It snowed across the Florida state line before. I've
What?
seen it.
That's...
You would have seen the snow last year if you'd come to the Slav Olympics.
Oh God, I brought that weather.
I wanted to go to the Slob Olympics last year. I couldn't travel.
Yeah.
Apparently, you didn't want to go bad enough.
My father needed me.
Yep. Family comes first.
Have we got
Depends on
a
who you're talking to.
weather forecast for this Slavs yet?
I see.
I can look it up. Well,
I can look it up. I can look it up.
Pete said something the other day. I mean, the weather guessers are calling for about the average. Around
69 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's warm now.
AccuWeather. There you go.
Well, I don't know what South Carolina is like in March. I've never been there in March.
Their average temperature for that time of the year is around 65 degrees.
March the 1st, it's going to be 63 March the 1st.
That's not so bad.
I
If
guess
the
that's as far as it
rumor
goes
rumor about Slob Olympics coming to Florida has any teeth to it, I don't know. But if they come to Florida, it could be in the 80s, or it could be in the 40s.
It was
you just don't know.
The day before in Pigeon Forge,
yeah, it was nice.
We were all out there riding go-karts and shorts.
At night, we was on that balcony. It was nice.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what place I got in a freaking car race.
Yeah, first year in Atlanta, I got ran over by drag racers and
first year in Atlanta was hysterical.
To be honest, I think
cops wouldn't get out of their cars. Everyone was smoking marijuana out in front of the hotel, and it ended up being I don't think anyone knew about it at the time, but it ended up being the weekend of the NBA All-Star game in Atlanta. So the hotel we were in
we
was crawling.
We don't worry about the NBA All-Star game because we're much more important than the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, but the hotel was crawling with hookers.
So yeah, they knew Sleeta.
Yeah, and somebody was. I think they were trying to get somebody to hook up with Chess.
Oh God!
Damn.
I'm not even. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not even going down that.
Hey,
what? What do you say?
He's not going to go down that road. He said.
I saw
that road.
I saw all that shit going on. I went to bed.
It was bad enough when he got pinned.
Saturday, March 4th.
Hang on. Hey, CJ, even Traveling Fool says if you take his predictions on Miami seriously, you're the fool.
So this is a future weather is not really accurate. This is monthly weather on AccuWeather. And all Palms on March 4th is going to be 69 degrees.
We've already covered that, Nate. You're a day late and $1 short.
Shit.
69 degrees on the day of the Olympics. I mean, that's
That would be a miracle.
that's shorts weather. I mean, you can wear shorts for that.
Yeah.
And Friday is supposed to be rainy, but
It's
that's
63 here today.
I'm
It's
in the
28 here.
low 80s today.
It's 28 where I'm at, so it's normal.
28. Damn.
It's beautiful here in the free state of Florida.
Shit, it was 80 when I left Texas this morning.
Big old
Free state.
Texas.
The free state of Texas. I heard a great statistic earlier today. Really
CJ, I'm
interesting.
not apologizing for that because I had them picked at a worse record than that.
Oh, this is my weather right now. Simple.
I heard a great stat today. I thought it was hysterically funny. Evidently, I didn't know that this was a thing, but evidently U-Haul has a rating system for all 50 states. Which is the best place, which is the worst place. The worst place right now, if you want to get a U-Haul anything, is the People's Republic of Californication.
Well, yeah, because they had so many people that you can't get a U-Haul in California because everybody was moving out. They're literally because I was talking to some drivers at a truck stop. This is probably a month or two ago. I mean, they're paying people to bring U-Hauls back to California.
I was going to say, they're probably going to pay people to drive back.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was taking a U-Haul to California, I think I'd probably have U-Haul pay me. As for you, Slam.
When you are on the road.
I got a sleeper.
I
But
kind of
I've had to stay.
you know.
I've had to stay in a hotel too because I was in. Where was I? I was in Columbus, Georgia. My damn air conditioning stopped working. I was going to Warner Robins.
Warner Robins.
So I had to get a hotel in Warner Robins.
I
So
used
I'm
to
not
live
sleeping
down-
in
I
a
used
truck.
to live down there.
I'm not sleeping in a truck in August with no air conditioning in Warner Robins, Georgia.
No,
That's just not
no.
happening.
No, I wouldn't expect you to. No.
But neither do they. Now they expect me to get a cheap hotel, but they can expect it all they want. They want us to pay find something, around $65 a night. I said the day the owner of this company sleeps in a $65 a night hotel is when I'll do it.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, it makes sense to me. They didn't like it very much, but they'll get over it, won't they? Ain't a whole lot they can do about it. I got the company credit card.
And that is the way it should be.
You could have stayed at that hotel we stayed out in Cochran, Georgia. Shit.
Well, I mean, I didn't go stupid with it or anything. I didn't stay at a, $175, $200 a night hotel, but
I don't even know if they have one of those.
I'm not getting a $65 a night hotel either.
Yeah. One of them weekly rate hotels.
Yeah, if they got hourly rates posted up at the window, I'm moving on. Just saying.
Yep. If the bed sheets are moving on their own, yeah, time to leave.
Roach Motel. Yeah, you bring a black light in there. Ain't nothing but lit up.
I don't think that's the sound you're hearing. I think is his proximity alert.
Yeah, these trucks have got the same thing cars have got. I don't even have to hit the brakes on this thing. It'll do it itself.
But he's right. That's the same sound that the French fry machines make.
You got some adaptive cruise control?
Yep. Oh, you got to watch it, though, because if you ain't paying no attention, you're just cruising along. You don't have your foot on the gas. Next thing you know, you've been cruising behind somebody at 62 for 20 miles.
Yeah, my wife's car got a adaptive cruise control.
Yeah,
Pretty
my
nice.
Aunt Subaru's got that shit too, and it gets on my nerves.
Yeah, she got a
The-
Subaru.
Well,
Rough truck.
the thing that gets on my nerves more than anything else is that start-stop thing they got, where you pull up to a stoplight and the car shuts off.
They don't do that
My
anymore.
boss's pickup does that because he's got a new. He's got like a 21 or 22 Ford Ranger, and I've noticed his truck does that.
Does that actually save fuel or no?
My mom's car does that. It's annoying as fuck.
I mean, it probably does, Kevin, more than likely, because I know for a fact gas motors burn more fuel at idle than a diesel does. And it consumes less gas on startup on a gas burner than a diesel does to start up.
Yeah, but what if your battery is weak?
Well, then you're screwed 6 ways from Sunday. But
Right.
What are you drinking, Dr. Pepper, Nate?
Yeah, it looks like pepper.
What do you got?
What is-
Krogies.
Pierogi? Oh my god, he's gonna make microwave pierogies.
No, it's pierogies. I'm making pierogies.
Oh, how are you gonna make them?
Got cream cheese in that?
No,
Frying pan.
I'll be chef now. I'll mute.
I like pierogies. I do. Polish raviolis. Let's see. Bet and Traveling Fools are having an argument over fast food restaurants. Okay.
Traveling works at Burger King.
Oh, look at Nate, fancy with the olive oil with the fancy pouring thing. Jesus.
Oh. He's a regular Italian, huh?
I think Nate has the idea maybe of becoming a chef someday. Use a knife. Never mind. No, wait.
why are you backseat driving?
Nate is using a knife. That's scary. Don't use a knife.
Nate, tell that old curmudgeon that you're fucking this cow. Tell him just hold the tail.
Yeah.
I was
As I
trying
was
to help
saying-
him out. Use a knife to open up the plastic, for God's sake. It looked like he was struggling.
I use my fingers.
I was just trying to help. Come on, don't listen to me. I've only been cooking longer than Nate's been alive. Yes, I used to watch.
He likes to poke holes with his finger. Leave him alone.
I used to watch Hell's Kitchen all the time.
Celine, that does not mean you're good at it.
I am
Mama's
good
been
at it.
cooking most of her life, and she is older than you, and she still can't cook worth a fuck.
Well, guess what? I can cook.
So just because you've been doing it a long time doesn't mean you're any good at it.
I am very good at it, actually. So,
What kind of food you cook besides Jewish food?
besides what?
I didn't know there was anything called Jewish food.
There is Jewish food. I can cook Italian. I can do Asian, American.
American.
The only thing I'm weak on is baking. Not really much of a baker.
Bakery. Yeah.
I would love
I like to make
my own-
banana bread. Banana bread's pretty good.
I would love to make my own bread. Every once in a while, I think I would love to go get a bread maker. And then I realized if I owned a bread maker, I would be I would be the biggest slob Olympian in the history of slob Olympian.
And I like to make cheesecakes every now and then too. They're pretty good.
I never tried to make cheesecake. No. Hoagie loves to bake. Okay. Jacob Watson's here. Good to see you. I do make good bagel sandwiches and stuff like that, traveling fools, but I don't make the actual bagels.
I've never thought about making a sandwich with a bagel.
I remember
Oh, it's
making
delicious.
I remember making bagel pizzas and like
I love those.
School.
Bagel
But I
pizza.
mean, at least how my little brain works, bagels are like breakfast food.
Yeah.
No, Slim, you're limiting yourself, sir.
I'm not a huge bagel person. Period.
Oh, okay, well, I understand. I love
I mean,
bagels.
It's
If
probably
they're
been.
made right.
It's probably been. Actually, I know for a fact it's been more than a year since I've even had a bagel.
Hang on a minute. Shut up, BA.
Facts, BA. Tell him. You know what you should do? You should tell him again.
He's a one-timer.
I'm sorry. Some things are more important. Not many things, but some things. Now the bagel has to be made right, Slim. You can't just go and buy that shit in the grocery store like Lenders, and you cannot go to Einstein. Do not go to Einstein. Bagels from Einstein are garbage. You got to find a place that does the dough right, and they boil the dough before they bake.
Well,
Because
literally
that's
all
important.
I've ever had is store-bought bagels.
No, you see, there's your problem, Slim. You haven't had a real bagel then, because you've had basically bread with a hole in the middle. See, you got to make the bagels right. You got to boil the dough to get the water inside. So when you bake them, the water turns to steam and puffs the bagel up and makes the inside soft and the outside is chewy. And it's got to be done. It's got to be done the Jewish way. All you goyim that are eating Lender's bagels, you're doing it wrong. Stop it. Stop it.
Why does it got to be the Jewish way? Why can't I do shit my way?
Because the Jewish way is the right way. Listen to the King of the Jews.
That's all a matter of opinion, sir.
I'm sorry, but I mean, Judaism has been around for almost 5,900 years, and we know a thing or two.
Yeah, but bagels haven't been around for 5,900 years.
Yes, they have. Well, I don't know if they've been around 5,900 years, but we know what we're doing when it comes to bagels. Listen to your friend.
Look at those pierogies.
Oh, there you go. He got them brown on one side, but that's good. I usually do my pierogies in butter instead of olive
oil. It's like
oil,
a pot sticker or something, right?
I love pot stickers. I love pot stickers.
Let's see. I don't know if they're done or not. And they're not done. Not yet. Oh,
so
yeah.
BA is making country fried steak with garlic mashed potatoes for the kids, but rice and gravy for herself.
Hey, she's better than me. The kids can eat what everybody else eats, so they can go hungry. That's how I was raised. You either ate what was cooked or you go hungry.
Is Uncle Lou coming for dinner, or is he back in Cherokee again? just asking, just a question. I don't judge.
That's a good question. Do you have an air fryer, Saleen?
No, I don't. I gave my mom an air fryer for Hanukkah one year, a couple of years ago. She wanted one, so I bought her one.
She didn't have a microwave already?
She had a microwave, but she wanted an air fryer. She wanted.
That's all an air fryer is a microwave.
I know that, but she wanted an air fryer, and it's hard to buy Hanukkah gifts for my parents. Well,
they make ovens with the air fry option now.
Yeah, convection oven.
Yeah.
Well, most ovens are convection.
My hoagie, I make my pierogies or my pot stickers in a frying pan, just like Nate did. Only I use butter instead of olive oil.
Yeah, I don't use olive oil at all. I use butter.
I like the flavor that butter puts in them, and then a nice gyoza dipping sauce from Trader Joe's.
There's literally 2 requirements for any dish whatsoever. Doesn't matter if it's a side dish, doesn't matter if it's the main course. Every single one of them require butter and Creole seasoning.
Facts.
Doesn't matter what you're making.
Facts.
I put Creole in my scrambled eggs.
I like Creole seasoning. I also use a lot of sriracha. I love sriracha. Nectar of the gods.
You know what else is really good? And
What?
it's real popular in the area I live, is Dano's.
It's cool.
Nate, stop with the ranch
You
dressing.
got ranch. Uh-oh.
Oh my God,
Christ.
he's doing pierogies with ranch.
Christ.
What is? I'm gonna kick him out. Should I kick him out for that?
Yes, kick him out.
Okay. Bye. Ranch
Blasphemy.
dressing with pierogi. There are Polish people that will put you on a hit list for that, sir.
Blasphemy.
What did you say was Dano's? What?
Dano's seasoning. It's really good.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Okay, I'll have to try.
Well, see, BA, that's why you take my approach with it. Either you eat what's cooked or you go hungry. I bet you they'll eat it.
Oh my God, I can see him in the back. I gotta kick him out of the back now. Wait. I love you to death, Nate, but you lost me with pierogies with ranch dressing. I can't, and I'm not letting you back on until you stop eating because
I'm kind of like Raj with that ranch. It's like y'all people need to quit with that shit.
Ranch dressing would make a good lubricant on a car chassis, but it isn't worth consuming. I mean,
well, I don't mind ranch dressing, like a little bit of ranch on a salad when I occasionally eat a salad, but that's about it. Other than that, I
Mike
ain't got
Vick's
no
in
use
the
for it.
chat,
What's up, Vic?
and Mike Vick is where to go? Mike Vick is always generous with his kind words towards me, and I appreciate that.
But I think he's still trying to make up for the fact that he let slip that he doesn't care about you.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Traveling fool ranch equals pizza dressing.
Traveling fools, you're a damn commie for that comment.
Where did he say that?
The last comment he has.
No. Sorry, traveling fools. That's a timeout.
That's a timeout.
That's a timeout. Sorry, I can't.
My wife and daughter do that shit, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, traveling fools. You go sit in the corner for a few minutes. Come on, man.
Although nothing in this world is worse. My mother and my sister, I don't know where they found it. I don't know how they come up with it. A fucking peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich.
No.
Mayonnaise and they put bananas on there too.
Although I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter.
I like peanut butter too, but peanut butter and mayonnaise?
No.
I've heard of people doing that with like bananas on them as well.
I'll do peanut butter and banana. That's an awesome sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Tomatoes and mayonnaise, maybe tomato sandwich.
I didn't get aggravated by a comment about ranch dressing. I got disgusted about it. I mean, get it right. I mean, ranch dressing on pizza? No. I'm sorry.
What about a hot sauce on pizza?
I can go with that. But it depends on the hot sauce, though. Believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of Tabasco.
They make some special hot sauce for pizza. I bought before. It's pretty good.
I mean, I used to, but I can't do it anymore. I got bad acid reflux.
and Bulldog JC, I used to love Alfredo. Fettuccine, one of my favorite dishes to make of all time, fettuccine Alfredo with either sauteed shrimp or sauteed or pan-fried scallops. But years ago, Alfredo sauce and I are no longer on speaking terms. I mean, that sauce is just too heavy.
I made some chicken, bacon, and tomato Alfredo pizza before when I was worked at a pizza place.
So Sir Uga and I actually agree on something, which means that the universe will be disintegrating shortly when Sir Uga and I agree on something. Because he doesn't agree with me on anything. And I've never tried jalapenos on pizza, so
I've had pepperoni and jalapeno pizza before.
I've not done that before.
Yeah, I don't.
P Digits is here. P Digits always shows up when I'm about ready to get off the air, but I'll be on.
I haven't ordered any pizza like that. Usually, like if I go to like a CC's pizza place or something, maybe it's on the buffet line.
Bread Pitts here.
That's your problem right there, K-Dog. You're going to CC's Pizza. Okay? That's like the Ryans of pizza joints, and that's not a good thing.
Nate is still here. I've never heard of Taco John, honestly.
John's?
But Taco Bell isn't really food per se, so
yeah.
I mean, I used to like Taco Bell a bit, but a few years ago, my doctor put me on a food-only diet, and I can't eat Taco Bell anymore.
Well, I mean, if you can't eat Taco Bell, then you can't eat pretty much fast food, period.
Well, I try not to, except for Chick-fil-A. But did you guys hear that Chick-fil-A is going to do a cauliflower sandwich?
A cauliflower sandwich. No.
Yeah, it's their.
I heard. Yeah, I guess it's a.
They're going to appeal to the vegans. Yeah, they're going to
gotta have something for the vegans. Yeah,
they're going to do cauliflower with the. I guess it'll be dunked in their breading or whatever, and then fried like one of their sandwiches. But it's cauliflower, so it's plant based.
No,
I'll pass.
It's like that cauliflower crust pizza or whatever. Yeah,
I'll pass on that too.
Oh,
my wife tried that shit. My wife tried that shit. She tried like that. I think it was like some kind of cauliflower pasta. No, never again.
Thank you, Pete Digits. I appreciate your support. I do. But cauliflower Chick-fil-A. If someone bought me the sandwich, I'd try it, but I'm not spending my own money.
If you get like a free voucher or something,
I would respectfully decline.
P Digits, this is a lie.
My wife likes pineapple.
No, pineapple does not.
And
leave it to a
Battle Angel.
Leave it to a tater man to want to.
Battle Angel will be bringing back the. I don't know if they're going to call it. I don't know what she's going to call it. I guess we're not going to call it the Ho Show anymore.
Boss Babe 2.0.
That's disrespectful anyway. But Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time will be Battle Angel live streaming. I thought calling it the Ho Show was disrespectful. TK is not a hoe. Battle Angel is not a hoe.
Pineapples belong on tacos? I don't know about
that.
No, I'm gonna pass on that too.
Should I time him out for that?
Go for it.
That's almost.
He's deserved it a couple. He's deserved it a couple other times, so yeah, time him out.
Okay. Maybe a pineapple dessert pizza, maybe.
pineapple on tacos. Oh, it's a fucking seriously.
Now,
Mango.
Saleen, what is your opinion of fish tacos?
I've had them before. They're okay if they're blackened. They gotta have blackened seasoning on them.
Okay. Now, question number two.
Now there are several
What-
restaurants locally that do that, including a BA will attest to how good the place is. Philippi Creek Oyster House. I took her and Lou there when they were down here a few years ago, a couple years ago now, and they do fish tacos really, really well. Although I don't think BA or Lou ordered the fish tacos.
Now, where do you stand on the debate that is a taco a sandwich?
It is not a sandwich. A taco is a taco, and a sandwich is a sandwich. Well, Battle Angel, I wanted to take you and Lou to a really, really nice place. It was a nice place. It was a really good food. Matter of fact, I'm going there for dinner tonight with my mom and her old college roommate tonight. But Lou wouldn't go because he couldn't wear a hat.
Well, I
He
mean,
wouldn't.
that's completely
He doesn't go
understandable.
anywhere if he can't wear a hat.
Me either. Hell, I probably
Not
got
even
more
like
requirements.
not if you
I
had like
prob-
a fancy hat or anything.
I probably have more requirements than him. If I can't wear a hat, if I can't carry a gun, I'm not going there.
Well, the gun part I think is okay. I mean, this is Florida after all. But the hat, I guess it would depend on the hat. I mean, Lou wears that kind of the flat cap like you see guys in English convertibles drive. That probably would have passed. But he wanted to wear a baseball cap.
Well, Saleen, it doesn't matter about the state. There's not a Buffalo Wild Wings in any state that allows you to carry in their restaurants.
Yeah, but if you're concealed carrying, how will they know? Now, Buffalo Wild Wings is garbage anyway, so I don't go there.
If you carry into a restaurant that has it posted no carrying, that's a crime.
Yeah, but again, it's concealed carry. How would they know? And if you concealed carried into a restaurant that said no carry, and there was something went down, and you put the guy down and saved a lot of lives, somehow I don't think you'd be prosecuted.
Shit, bullshit. They prosecute people for blatant self-defense these days.
In Florida?
Well, they sure did in Michigan.
Well, that's Michigan. Michigan is a Marxist state being run by a wannabe dictator. So
not Michigan, Wisconsin.
Well, same thing. Wisconsin's a blue state. Anyway, I mean, Wisconsin. Actually, I was shocked that Wisconsin convicted that piece of shit, Darrell Brooks, the guy who ran through the parade. But because they don't have a death penalty, they're going to have to carry him on the books for the rest of his life. And he's a fairly young man, so he's going to be in jail for 50, 60, 70 years. That's on the taxpayer dime, where he should have been is killed. But
we can't do that, Saleen. We're supposedly an evolved society.
Man runs over 6 people, including women and children, and kills them and injures 68 other people. He was charged with 76 crimes and he got convicted on all 76 of them. I watched the trial. He deserved to die.
We're an evolved society, Saleen.
I'll pull the trigger my damn self. Just saying. Anyway, I got to go. It is now 5 o'clock. I got to move on to other things in the remainder of the day. And
it's not 5 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock.
5 o'clock, sir.
4
It's 4
o'clock.
o'clock where you are, maybe, but it's
I'm
5
s-
o'clock where I am.
It's 4 o'clock.
Well, you're on the wrong side of the time zone. So
I'm a time traveler.
yes, I know.
Give it a few hours. I can be at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, give you about an hour, and you'll be at 5
Yeah,
o'clock.
they
Then I'll-
need to bring back public hanging, I believe.
Hey, hanging's on the courthouse lawn. Let's go for it. Rope's cheap.
flogging. They need to bring back the flogging. Anyway, before you guys go, please click the thumbs up. I'm at 16 according to my screen. Love to get to 20 again, but if you haven't already clicked the thumbs up, please do that for me. I do appreciate it.
All right.
I already did.
K-Dog, it was good to see you again. Appreciate your support. Pardon me. And Slim, always good to see you. And well, he left before I could thank him properly, but good to have Slim on here as always. Trying to keep it between the ditches, sir. Do not crash. We rely on you to entertain us at all the places you entertain us. Anyway, episode 123 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with SaleenDriver in the books. So, another successful show about nothing in particular. So, I am marked safe from yesterday's Valentine's Day. Didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. I want to thank Sanchez for being here, P Digits, the Pizza Woman, my #1 troll killer, Hoagie, CJ, Albert Sancho, Brad Pitt popped in briefly. I said P Digits. The lovely and gracious and vivacious Battle Angel. Good to see her as always. Good to see some of my watch buddies like Ken Spear and Watch62 and Floridian, who is actually in Florida now, I believe. Good to see all you guys. Matt Dumit, definitely good to see you, sir. You've been here since I started the show 2 hours and 10 minutes ago. Will, good to see you. I'll try and keep annoying you in your comment section. Y'all have a good rest of the day, good rest of the week. We'll see you when we see you. Enjoy, folks. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the comments. Peace.